Hello, and welcome to this guided meditation focusing on practicing curiosity and non judgment. I invite you to find a position that feels right for you today, either seated or lying down. So you can choose whatever position feels most accessible and comfortable for you. And then once you're there, take a deep breath, check in and see, is there any adjustment or shift that you could make that would allow you to feel more comfortable or more supported or more at ease? Once you're there, you're welcome to close your eyes or to just soften your gaze. We begin to breathe with awareness. So start to notice your body breathing. Notice your body breathing itself. Notice the way that it feels as the breath is coming in and the breath is coming out. And then check in and reflect on, why is this topic important for you? Why does it matter that we practice curiosity and non judgment? What does that mean for you? So we just take a few moments here reflecting on our intention for this practice and what's important about this topic today. And now let's invite in some gratitude. Gratitude for you showing up, making time. I know there will always be other responsibilities and obligations. There will always be multiple priorities that we are juggling, managing, navigating. And yet, it will also always be important that we invest in ourselves, that we take time for ourselves to care for ourselves mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. And so right now we're inviting in gratitude because you are investing in you. That reminder that when you invest in yourself, it has a ripple effect. It also impacts the people around you, the people you care about. It impacts your relationships, your work, how you show up in the community. For many of us as high performers, we feel like it's selfish to take time for ourselves. We feel like there's not enough time for ourselves. And yet, you're here. You've shown up. So, really celebrating that, feeling gratitude for you because you made time. Take another deep breath. So, this practice today around curiosity and non judgment, take a few moments to just reflect on what not being curious looks like for you, what being judgmental looks like for you. How might that show up in your life? And as we are reflecting on it, it's an opportunity to practice curiosity and non judgment. Yes, we can practice curiosity and non judgment by also recognizing how we are sometimes not curious and sometimes judgmental. What does that look like for you? How does that show up for you? And I invite you to bring to mind specific examples of maybe noticing when we jumped to conclusions around something. Maybe we didn't have the full picture and we were already judging someone else for something they said or a choice that they made. That we notice negative energy that we're putting into a situation. So allow something to come to mind. And then as we practice curiosity and non judgment, we're not judging ourselves for how we showed up in the past. We're being curious, open minded, receptive to new ways of thinking, new ways of being. As you're reflecting back on a situation that's happened in the past, what might you do differently in the future? What might curiosity and non judgment look like in this specific example? Just being curious here. What could it look like to show up with curiosity and non judgment? Whether it be an example of you noticing that you were not curious and that you were judgmental with someone else, or even with yourself. Sometimes we notice that we are judgmental towards ourselves, that we are not curious, and it shows up with us maybe thinking unkind things about ourselves, thinking, why did I do this? Why did I say that? So, what might you do differently in the future? How would you, being more curious and non judgmental, positively impact your life and your relationships? Let's practice curiosity and non judgment with noticing the present moment. So, I invite you to allow your eyes to be open and just notice what's around you. You can move your head, noticing what's around you, noticing colors, noticing shapes. What does it feel like to just notice as if you were noticing for the very first time? Noticing things around you without shifting into thinking, oh, that's something I should have cleaned up or that's on my to do list. What does it feel like to simply be curious? No judgment, no expectations, to just notice. Allow your jaw to soften and notice. Be curious with how it feels to breathe in and out fully and completely. Notice how your body breathes, noticing as if you have never felt your body breathing before, as if every breath were your first experience to breathing. What does it feel like to breathe in? Just be curious here. What do I notice? What do I notice about the way that the breath is coming into my nostrils? What do I notice about how my belly moves when I breathe in and how it moves differently when I breathe out? Sometimes it can be helpful to even add the words, I'm curious, to something that we might say. Maybe just testing that out with yourself in your own head. I'm curious to how it feels to breathe. Notice how that feels. And as we are here in this practice around curiosity and non judgment, let's also invite in compassion. How does compassion play a part in this? How is compassion connected to curiosity and non judgment? For many people, we don't offer ourselves compassion when we notice things that we have done wrong, mistakes we've made, times that we have been unkind, times that we have done or said something that we wished we wouldn't have. So, how might we invite in compassion for ourselves? This idea that we deserve to be free from suffering, that we are human and that we will continue to make mistakes. And that our goal is that we don't keep repeating the same mistakes, that we learn from them, that we can practice curiosity and non judgment and have self reflection to notice. I'm curious. How did I show up in this conversation? How did I show up with this person? How did I show up for myself? Let me be curious here. Let me not judge myself, but also let me reflect on how I might do things differently in the future. Let me offer myself compassion for my humanness. What does grace and compassion feel like? Breathing in and out, practicing curiosity in this moment. What are you noticing? What thoughts are present? What feelings, what emotions, what sensations are present? What are you aware of? Practicing curiosity, being present with ourselves to notice the fullness of the moment. Take one more breath here. And then I invite you to reflect on this practice. Was there anything that felt helpful for you? Is there anything that you would like to intentionally take with you into the rest of your day, into your life? Making note of that now. And again, inviting in gratitude for you doing the work, for you showing up for yourself. So I thank you for being here. I hope that you continue going out there in the world, making a positive impact, taking care of others, and also taking care of yourself along the way. Bye.